So this one we can see is a big process.
Yeah.
Filling up the entire biopsy, top to bottom, side to side. And we can see from here, it's just like a dense infiltrate of something at this point. And as we go in, we can see all these cholesterol clips over there.
Yeah, very good.
And then kind of some foamy-ish looking histiocytes, clear to foamy.
Yeah, definitely foamy.
And then there's like all this like strands of collagen throughout. That makes me think of tuberous xanthoma, and then the like onion skinning look also I feel like is helpful.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. Yeah, this is something I rarely have seen these in practice. I don't know if they really are rare or if they're just recognized clinically and not removed. I'm not sure. But I can't remember if I've ever actually diagnosed one in practice. So it's something that I just really do not encounter. But they are large nodules, kind of sessile to polypoid nodules, often on the knees, the elbows, or the buttocks. And they are a type of, so a large kind of, a large xanthoma. And they are often, they're usually associated with familial dysbeta-lipoproteinemia type 3. I have to look that up every time. I can never keep it in my brain. And there are a few other systemic lipid abnormality syndromes that they go with. But the classic, most common one is familial dysbeta-lipoproteinemia type 3. And these patients have a risk of peripheral vascular disease as well as, cardiac and other disease because of their lipid abnormalities. So it's important if if a patient gets diagnosed with one of these, they definitely need to have their lipids checked. And early on, they just start out with xanthoma cells, kind of like a xanthelasma would. But as they continue to grow and get larger and get older, they begin to get the accumulation of cholesterol clefts, which we see beautifully here. And they also begin to get more and more fibrosis and sclerosis. So and that's what's giving it that kind of onion skinning layered appearance, because at first glance you might think, oh, this is just the normal reticular dermal collagen, but it's not. It's too thick and it's too like skinny and dense and wiry. And the way it's packed together tells you that it's actually forming here around the foamy histiocytes. It's actually not like normal dermal collagen. It's really sclerosed and wiry collagen. Now, how do I know these are cholesterol crystals? Well, I think cholesterol crystals and keratin granulomas can look really similar because here the little layers of either collagen or histiocyte cytoplasm can look similar to the little flakes of keratin inside something. So I actually really struggle sometimes to tell them apart. I do feel like cholesterol crystals tend to be like kind of longer and more like parallel typically, whereas keratin granulomas tend to be a little more haphazard. But honestly, I have been tricked before. And so if you really need to, you can actually do a keratin stain, which will stain even the dead keratin flakes, but will not stain cholesterol crystals. So just so you know that if you struggle with telling those apart, I do too. In the skin, when we see clefts like this, usually the answer is keratin granuloma. Much more often, that's what we see. But occasionally, there are settings where we can see cholesterol crystals. And this is an example of that. So a really good example of a tuberous xanthoma. And I think there's some overlap with these and tendinous xanthomas, which I've also never seen. I think those rarely get excised because they are actually filling up the tendon and it would require excision of a part of the tendon. So I think generally those are left alone unless they're causing significant problems, although I'm not an expert at that. And like I said, I've never seen one. So if you're out there and you know more about that, maybe you can fill us in the comments down below. But I feel like those often get taught kind of alongside this, but those are going to be down deep in the tendon itself or are directly affixed to the tendon, whereas a tuberous xanthoma is a dermal and or can also involve the subcutis, I believe. So I think a faded example, but a really nice example with all the textbook features.